How you doing? This is Bob from Makana Odyssey again. Today I was going to do a live video, but Facebook crashed, and then I had a little problem on YouTube to be able to do that today. So I decided to just do another video the same way, but not live. Now, for those of you that know me, you know, of course, that I am a healer. I have been blessed with the fact that I can heal with my hands. I'm also a Reiki master. Now, I don't always use Reiki when I do the healing with the hands. There are other techniques which I learned many years ago, or for some fantastic, beautiful monks that taught me quite a few things that I know today, and they were magnificent. So, I'm also a card reader, and I read spiritual cards as well as tarot and oracle. And I do a psychic reading while I'm doing that. I also read your palm. Well, right before I do the reading with the cards, I look at your palm. Now, I don't give you everything on your palm. The essential things that I think that you should know that are important. This is what I tell you about your hand as well. And it's very interesting because I have to tell you, the lines on your hand tell you a tremendous amount. And 99% of the time, what the hands say happens, does happen. One of the reasons that when you do a palm reading, you say this might happen at a certain time, it might not happen, because it depends sometimes on how you take care of yourself, for instance. So, like, for instance, just say that you had an island on your hand. An island could mean an injury or some kind of sickness. Depending, first of all, on the size of the island, how long the recovery would be. But taking care of yourself in every way, sometimes those islands disappear, believe it or not, and you're not troubled by them. So things can change. And the same thing when we do a card reading, when we put the cards down, that can change as well. And don't let anybody tell you the cards are set in stone, because they're really not. They're giving you a warning of what's going to happen. You can avoid what's going to happen, and you really can. It depends on the way you feel, your outlook, your belief, how much you take care of yourself. You can change things. You can change things if you're in an abuse situation and it says that, this is going to continue. You can move away from that situation, so then the cards would change. Okay, so there are times that things happen like that. But today, I want to talk to you more about egg cleansing. Now, egg cleansing has been around for a very long time, and it does work. But like everything else in the world, even your belief in God and the spirits, you must believe. Without belief, it's like a statue with clay feet. There's no doubt about it. You build a beautiful statue and everything is magnificent, but it has clay feet. So eventually it falls over. So you have to have the belief. And I suggest that people pray and get close to the spirits. I pray every single day, and I think it's tremendously important. It's part of my life. I don't know what I would do if I didn't pray, because I would probably be nuts, because a lot of things happen in my life naturally like everyone else. At any rate, so there's two ways that we do this egg cleansing. Two ways I do it. And everybody has a different outlook on what the different things mean. Not everybody, but a lot of people, they think different than each other, which is the way it should be. If you're doing psychic work or card reading or whatever it might be, it should be your interpretation of what's going to be, not what you learned or what was written down, but your interpretation. Because once you start to do things only the way you read in a book or wherever, then you're not really doing something yourself. You're not doing what might be natural really happening. You're just saying, well, this person said that would be that way in a book, and that's the way it is. Wrong. You have to use your intuition, and you have to use your heart and your mind and your belief in the gods. The gods help you in every way. Without the gods, I want to tell you right now, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do. And I do quite a bit in the metaphysical field, tremendous amount actually. I study very hard, and I do a lot. I'm capable of a lot of great things, I feel. So, let's start with the first one. So you take an egg like this. This is a free-range egg, but it's not dedicated to anyone, including myself, no one. It's just for example. So you would take this egg and you would run it around your body. You touch your head, your ears, and your eyes, and your nose, your mouth, the back of your head if you can, your shoulders, hands, everywhere. Everywhere that you can reach. If you have someone else there to go down your back, like a reader that you're there, if you're doing it in person, which you should do, you can touch the back of your legs or say maybe someplace you can't touch normally. Now, and as you're doing that, don't mind me keep looking that way because I keep getting these things on my other tablet over here. At any rate, you pray. And you pray that these things are lifted from you. A lot of times we have a tremendous amount of anxiety and we're feeling bad and we're feeling upset and nervous. Maybe someone is wishing you harm and they have the ability to try to really make you feel that way. So you're going to pray that you're lifted from the anxiety, from the pain of worry, from the possible influence of everyone trying to, not everyone, of people trying to wish me bad, and to send it back to the people who do wish me bad, and to help me find peace, to help me find peace with the gods and throw myself on their mercy so they may help me in every way, and in return I offer them my love and my dedication. So now that is a prayer that I say, but you can say any prayer that you're comfortable with. So now, again, you run it down your entire body, and then this particular egg, what you're going to do is wrap it up. Don't break it. You're going to wrap it up because this thing contains all of your anxiety and all your negativity at this point of bad things that happen to you. Now, I wouldn't suggest you do this every day, but once a month is a good idea, unless you're doing work like I do, where you're dealing with a lot of negativity, not towards me, but people come in, they have problems, and we try to help them out of it. So you want to be, I might cleanse maybe once every 2 weeks. But the thing is, it is very important to do that. So now you take the egg, do not break it, again. If it should break while you're doing it or right here in the house or wherever you might be, you need to do it again. So you take it and you're going to wrap it up and you take it far from where you live, someplace you might not visit often, and you get rid of it. Now you can either bury it, sometimes on hallowed ground, maybe a cemetery, or you could just throw it away and not visit that spot again, unless you have no choice once in a while to pass by there, but try not to. You don't want to walk on the ground right where this egg has broken if it does break, because that's where the negativity was released. So that is one way to do it. Now, another way, which I do sometimes, I'll do both. I'll start out doing this, and then after that, we'll take another egg, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to say the same prayer. We're going to do everything over again. But this time, we're going to take the egg, and we have a glass of water here, and we're going to break the egg and dump it into the water. Now, when you do that, there's going to be bubbles formed. Now, it depends. First of all, let me say, if the egg goes directly to the bottom without floating, without breaking up, without distorting, that's very good. But you will have other things. You will have bubbles and stuff of this sort. Now, the bubbles, some people say the bubbles are maybe people that were, wishing you bad, but I don't. And the people that I learned from don't. They believe that those bubbles normally are psychic energy that is coming from you. And if you're into psychic work, a lot of times you'll have a lot of bubbles. And you'll have these little spikes coming up. You can't see them here, but they're starting to rise here. And these little spikes, as they come up, and they have a little bubble on the top, are also spirits and energy that is around you. Now, I believe that these points that come up are, again, the psychic energy that's coming up from you, since, you do psychic work. And the big bubble on the top is also good. Sometimes that bubble on top also it's taking bad energy and releasing it. But I do believe that those spiky things that you see, there's a whole bunch coming up on here, one after the other, are the psychic energy and the spiritual energy that is around you. Now you're also going to look at the egg yolk. And when you look at the egg yolk, one thing you're going to look for is to see, of course, if it has distorted in any way. And you're going to look and see if you see anything that might resemble a face or something of that sort. Now, if you do see a distortion, or you do see some kind of face, now, there, in the yellow, if there is some kind of face, that is someone who may be wishing you harm in some way or another, or wishing you're just bad luck. So, you'll know that that's going on. But the egg is going to help to protect you from that. Now, you're also going to look around the bottom of the egg and around the top and see if there's any red or black marks. If you see a red or a black mark, a lot of times that has something to do with illness. Not every time, but a lot of times. So you would want to be able to follow through on that. If you see bubbles that are going down, there is none here, but if you're going down, then that is, again, negative energy. Negative energy that is in you and is also pointed towards you, that's, maybe wished from someone else. And yes, there are people who can hex you, believe it or not. There are people that can transfer their will to make you feel bad. In other words, to curse you in some way. Now, there are some witches that might do that. However, most witches are magnificent, and they will help you in every single way. Witches were the first doctors. They're magnificent people. Hold on, please. I'm sorry, there was a slight interruption. A bell went off at any rate. So now, where I was saying if you see dark marks, then there's a problem. If you see bubbles that go down, yes. And there is witchcraft around sometimes. Sometimes it's bad. But normally it is not. Normally, most witches are magnificent and they're great, the majority of witches. However, a good witch that really knows witchcraft does know the dark and does know the light, because you have to know the dark to know the light, and vice versa, so that you can sort of travel in the gray zone. When you travel in the gray zone, you understand both sides. If you only travel in the darkness, you're not going to understand the light. And if you travel light, you won't understand the dark. You need to be able to travel down the middle. And that goes for life as well. That you don't have to be a witch for that. You need to always try to travel in the gray zone so that you understand, and your understanding of others. That's tremendously important in your life. So, again, I have points on this particular one. Again, it doesn't belong to anybody. Going up and showing the different kinds of spiritual energy. So really, that is all to the egg cleansing. You might want to wait 20 minutes or so and read the egg again to see if any changes. But by the time 20 minutes to half hour, everything that's going to forms, and you'll be able to see that. So I hope that this helps you in some way or another. And again, please subscribe to my channel. I would love for you to do that. And also, push the like button. Namaste. This is Bob from Arcana Odyssey, and I will see you again, hopefully.